Hi, hello. This is our monthly Ask Me Anything call. Thank you so much for being here today. So, happy Friday. Thanks for spending your Friday lunch break with me. And also, for my American viewers, happy Groundhog Day. So, I kind of have to explain this as it comes around every year because, okay, so my audience is somewhere around 35–40% international. So I have a lot of followers who are not American, which is amazing. Like, this is the great thing about having an online business, is that I can have an audience from anywhere. So because I have so many non-American fans, I sometimes have to explain weird holidays that Americans have. So I think some countries have similar holidays to Groundhog Day. But what Groundhog Day is, it's been going on for hundreds of years, really, where we have a small rodent called a groundhog, and if it sees its shadow on February 2nd, that means 6 more weeks of winter. If he does not see his shadow, then it means an early spring, so spring will come quickly. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I totally get it that it's pretty weird. But like, why do we let a groundhog predict the weather, or how can he tell like when it's going to be spring? Honestly, it's just for good fun. Most Americans follow Punxsutawney Phil, who is a groundhog who lives in Pennsylvania here. Actually today I was checking, because I do check every year, groundhog.org, if you want to like get Phil's accurate prediction. It's supposed to be 6 more weeks of winter, which I bet most of you could probably predict without the help of a groundhog, because it's really cold. It's like super, super cold lately. Actually, not so much where I live. It's a little colder here in Florida, but it's still quite pleasant. But most of the country is suffering from a very, very cold, frigid winter. So sorry, Groundhog says we're getting more winter. So I'm sending lots of like warm Florida vibes to you guys for those of you who are dealing with the snow and cold. But anyway, it's actually nice here in Florida today. It's 75 degrees. Again, for those of you outside of the US, I don't know how to convert that to Celsius, but I did have a client, a Canadian client, who explained it really well to me about how you can explain Fahrenheit temperatures to people who are outside of the US. So if you think of the scale being like a heat scale, so 0% hot is freezing, like you're on the North Pole, and 100% hot is like you're standing on the surface of the sun. So if you use that to show how hot it is in Fahrenheit, if like I say it's 75 degrees today, you can think, oh, that means it's 75% hot. So it's actually kind of like mild and nice. If I say that it's 50 degrees here today, then you're like, oh, it's directly between hot and cold, so it's kind of chilly. Anyway, that's a way to think about the weather. So today on this Groundhog Day, we are going to be answering some questions that I've received through email, sage@sagegrayson.com, or through social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I actually got a question right before I hopped on this call. Am I on Instagram? I am. So if you do want to follow me on Instagram, most of the emails that I send out, right at the bottom, I have my social media handles. But for Instagram, you can find me at instagram.com/sagegrayson. So you can reach me there as well. So these questions that I get, I usually get multiples of the same questions. So I'd like to take these Ask Me Anything calls as a chance to answer some of these common questions, so I'm not sending the same email over and over again to multiple people. If you have a question or a comment or a suggestion while you're on our call today, just type it in the comment box and I will see them pop up during this live stream, and then I can answer them right here on the call. Okay, so let's get right into the Ask Me Anything call. So the first question I got was, how do I stop drifting through life when every day feels the same? And this is really appropriate since it is Groundhog Day. And I know many of you have seen the hilarious movie Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray, where literally every day is repeated magically, and it's Groundhog Day over and over and over and over again, and he's miserable in the movie. But what if this is your real life? What if every day really is the same for you, and you just kind of feel stuck, like you're in the muck and you can't keep moving forward, and you're like, what's going on? Every day is the same. I'm just drifting through life. Like, you know that feeling where all the days kind of blend in together and you're like, what day is it? Is it Tuesday? Is it Saturday? I don't know. Like, that happens to me sometimes too. But here, I've got some suggestions to help you if you are feeling like every day is Groundhog Day. So first, I want you to ask yourself, if it feels like you're just drifting through your days, ask yourself, are you happy with your routine? So are you actually content with the time that you get up in the morning, your job that you go to work at, the people that you associate with, the things that you do every day? So maybe you'll discover, well, I was happier when I didn't have to get up so early. Or, I was happier when I used to make time for reading. Or, I was happier when I lived on the other side of the country. Or whatever it is. Or, hey, I was happier when I was eating smoothies every morning for breakfast, or whatever it might be. Take a really close look at your routine and ask yourself, does it make you happy? Because I'm guessing if it feels like the days are blending together and you're not making progress and you're just kind of drifting through life, that there's going to be something that stands out that's not making you happy. Okay, so once you realize what parts of your routine aren't making you happy or are kind of holding you back, let's start changing it up a little. So is there a way that you can add some novelty to your day? So I think it's really depressing when our days start going one after another, and they're always the same. There's nothing different about them. What can you add to make it a little more fun, a little more interesting, so you actually remember what day is which? So I do this. Have fun with your clothes. And I know this sounds like really just like have fun with your clothes, but yeah. Can you wear clothes that make you feel good? Can you wear clothes that are brightly colored, that give you energy? Can you get dressed every morning? I do notice some people who are drifting through their lives, they stop putting an effort in their appearance. So they might start wearing leggings all the time, or yoga pants, or pajamas all the time, rather than wearing real clothes. And I think it's easy to kind of get stuck in a rut and feel bad about yourself and just feel like you're a couch potato if you don't put in some effort with your appearance. So start small. Start just wearing more colors, or start adding some more accessories to what you're wearing. I've had really good experiences by wearing shoes every day. And I know some people don't like wearing shoes in the house. But when I wear shoes, I feel like I mean business. Like, I'm here to work. I'm not here to go take a nap, or I'm not here to lay on the couch. I'm here to do something. So if you have some shoes, maybe you could even get a pair of shoes, like some nice ballet slippers or something that you can just wear in the house. But wear shoes, because that tells your brain, hey, I'm here for a purpose. I'm capable. I'm confident. I'm going to do something meaningful today. Another way to add some novelty to your day is with music. I'm a big proponent of playing music and listening to pleasant sounds, even if it's like white noise in the background or classical music while you're working, just having that underlying hum in the background to get you going. So maybe you can make a fun playlist for yourself, some energizing new music to listen to. Or maybe there was a time in your life when things were really good, like, I don't know, maybe back in high school or maybe a few years ago, like you were having a really good time. Play music from that time period, and that can put your brain in the mindset of feeling really good. I don't know about you, but I like to listen to old songs from the 90s when I was in college and high school, like old 90s dance music. I'm so old, but it really makes me feel good just listening to old songs that we used to listen to at school dances, or when I was having pajama parties with my friends. So yeah, listen to some music to put some fun in your day and to remind you of good times. Okay, you can also listen to podcasts during your day. So there's so many great podcasts out there. My favorite podcast that I listen to is Happier with Gretchen Rubin. Highly, highly recommended. Listening to podcasts can give you other little tips for adding novelty to your day, to improve your life, to make yourself happier, to make it feel like your life has meaning and you're not just kind of sitting there without any kind of like new refreshing thoughts. So keep learning, keep listening to some podcasts. And then finally, like, how about novelty with your food you eat? I don't know about you, but back when I was in corporate, I would see people eating the same breakfast and the same lunch and the same snacks every single day. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The people who would have their like sad little bagel in the morning, and they'd have their like sad little salad for lunch and their sad little Diet Coke in the afternoon. And it's kind of like, that's kind of boring. That's not really fun. Is there a way you can have more fun with your lunches and change it up? So maybe even doing some meal prepping so you have different meals to eat during the week. But yeah, maybe like using different kinds of spices, trying different fruits and vegetables, challenging yourself to eat so many vegetables with every meal, adding more color to your plate. So don't just eat that like plain boring bagel. Like, is there a way you could add some like color, like fruit salad or whatever? You'll feel better. You'll feel a little healthier, adding some variety to your diet. And it's fun. It's something you can look forward to. If you have like a really nice like bento box meal for lunch coming up, that's something that can give you some excitement and make it easier for you to get through your boring morning. Okay. Also, when you're drifting through life and your life is feeling the same over and over and over again, day after day, a good way to add some meaning is to reach out and connect with other people. So you can do this several different ways. Like, you can call some old friends and get together. You can start Skyping people or doing FaceTime with people so you can like interact with them. Instead of eating lunch at your desk, why not go out to lunch or sit in the cafeteria with some of your coworkers? Is there a way you can join other groups in your neighborhood? So like other meetup groups or book clubs or movie groups or books or clubs for certain types of sporting activities or whatever. Just reach out and be around people. I think when you talk to people, it feels really good because you're connecting with another human being, but also they're going to have different things to say. They're going to have different ideas. They're going to challenge you. They're going to make you feel loved and accepted. And that is totally different than drifting through life. Being around people can help add meaning to your life. So highly recommend that if you're feeling like you're drifting, hang out with some people, make an effort, reach out to others. I definitely recommend joining my Facebook group, the Life Editor Clubhouse Facebook group, because we have a lot of people interacting and talking in there. You can find accountability partners, and it's other people who are doing the 5 steps of the life editing process right along with you. So that's a great place to look for some connection. And then finally, my very last tip, if it feels like every day is Groundhog Day, is to journal your feelings. So get out your journal, get out your notebook or your planners or whatever you're using, and just give yourself some time to write. Like, turn off the TV, turn off all the distractions, and just write what you're feeling. Like, how long has this feeling of mediocrity been going on? How long have you felt like you were drifting? Was there anything that triggered it? Is there something from your past that you used to do that used to give meaning and fun to your life that you can incorporate back into your routine? So like I said before, if you used to read but now you don't read anymore, can you bring that back in? You used to hang out with your friends but now you're too consumed with your work. Can you make some friend dates and go be around people? Did you used to take pride in your appearance but now you don't? That happened to me. When I moved from Chicago to San Francisco, I had been wearing suits every day when I worked in a corporate office. And then when I moved to San Francisco, I was working from home. And I got into the bad habit of wearing pajamas and like not doing my hair and not doing my makeup or anything. And I just became this big slug. And it was really awful because then like all my days started blending together. I wasn't happy with my work anymore. But that changed when I finally realized what I was doing and I started getting dressed every day. I started wearing my shoes and doing my hair, and I started making meaningful connections with people and getting out of the house too. So think about that. If there was a time in your life when things were going well, how can you incorporate that back in? And other things might come up when you're journaling too. So let yourself feel those feelings. Let yourself get deep and really think about what happened to get you into that slump to begin with. All right? So I hope that answered your question about how can you stop drifting through your days. If you have any suggestions of what's helped you have some fun and meaning in your life, type it in the comments or type it on my Facebook business page. You can even send an email to sage@sagegrayson.com. I would love to hear your ideas for adding meaning and novelty to your life. Okay, get my tea. So this is February, and we have Valentine's Day coming up, so I did get some questions about self-care and self-love tips for Valentine's Day. Yes. So first, I want to recommend watching the video class that's in the Life Editor Clubhouse. It's called Design Your Own Self-Care Retreat. I really recommend this class because there's so many different ideas for how you can treat yourself in different ways and really like boost your self-care. No matter how much time you have. I've got like 1 minute ideas, I've got 1 hour ideas, and I've got like half-day retreat ideas too. So go to lifeeditorclubhouse.com and watch the class, Design Your Own Self-Care Retreat. So in the meantime, how can you add some self-love and self-care into this month? I really think February should be a month of focusing inward and taking care of your needs too. Okay, so if you're a little burned out and it's time to focus on you and not everyone else, how about a spa day? Like, when was the last time you really took care of yourself physically? When was the last time you took a bubble bath or did like a really nice facial mask? When was the last time you did your nails? I'm so bad. I haven't painted my nails in like forever. Because we get busy, we don't take care of ourselves. Or what about using some essential oils or getting a massage or soaking your feet or whatever it is that makes you feel lovely and wonderful, like you're actually in your body taking care of yourself. So consider a spa day. How about movie night with friends? I mentioned this before, like being around people is a great way to take care of yourself. So how about instead of spending a lot of money going to the theaters, I love going to the theaters, but it's expensive. It's kind of hard to like rearrange everyone's schedule and decide on a movie that everyone likes. So why not make it a little bit more low-key and invite all of your friends to your house and just watch all of the romantic comedy movies that you want. Anything that's like really hokey, maybe from the 90s, anything with Meg Ryan or Julia Roberts in it. Like, yeah, just have a fun movie night with friends, and then everyone can bring something to eat too, so you're not spending a lot of money buying like pizzas or takeout or whatever. You can decorate heart-shaped cookies, you can eat Valentine's candy. Yeah, just really have like a nice, loving night at home watching movies and having fun. Reread your favorite books. Of course, I'm going to say this because I'm a former book editor, but one of my favorite self-care activities is reading. Of course it is. So when was the last time you read your favorite books? That might be something to do this month in the era of self-love. So what books always make you feel good about yourself? What books really broaden your horizons or take you to a fantasy world or make you feel really, really amazing? Maybe even books from your childhood. Like, you can read children's books, that's totally fine. My favorite children's book is The Phantom Toll Booth. Of course it is, because I'm a writer and editor and it's all about language. So yeah, think about that. What books would you like to reread to give yourself a really nice treat? You can also make a love playlist. Now, I'm not talking about like a sexy time playlist, like, you know what I mean. I'm talking about making a playlist of music that is a self-love, self-care playlist. So choose some songs that are really motivating and really like empowering and girl power type songs, or I love myself and I'm amazing type songs. So maybe like some Madonna songs or Lady Gaga songs or Spice Girl songs or whatever. So think about like really empowering women singers and what types of like motivating self-love songs can you put in a playlist. And then listen to that. Listen to that while you're working. Listen to that while you're commuting for your job. Or if you're going to do a spa day, like, yeah, totally blast some girl power music during your spa day at home. I think music as a really powerful way of inspiring us and motivating us and really shifting our moods. Like, if I'm in a bad mood, I can put on some really nice music, some really uplifting music, and it like instantly changes my perspective. So if you haven't done that already, make a self-love empowerment music playlist. And then finally, do something for future you. I don't know if I've explained this to you before, but a lot of times when I am struggling and I'm procrastinating and I'm not doing the things that I need to do, I think about future Sage. Like, think about yourself a few days in the future, or a few months in the future, or a few years in the future, whatever. Think about future you. What can you do that would make things easier or more positive for future you? So maybe you could do something loving around the house. So instead of just like falling into bed and going to sleep every night, you can walk around the house and pick up anything that's out of place, like do the dishes and put them away. Or clean up your living room, so when you wake up in the morning, that's not the first thing you see. There's not like a big mess there. You could lay out your clothes the night before. You could rewrite your to-do list and put it right next to your laptop. Like, what can you do ahead of time that would make things better for future you? I think that's a really nice way to be kind to yourself. That's a really great way to show yourself some self-love. Even our everyday actions are affecting future you. So if you're going to eat poorly, eat a bunch of sugar and junk during the day, what's future you going to feel? Like in the morning, you're going to feel like bloated and gross because you didn't treat yourself well. Or what about going for a walk? So that over time, you work on your cardiovascular endurance and you're outside feeling the sunshine, getting your vitamin D. Like, all of those things are good things for future you. Okay, so those are my self-care, self-love tips for Valentine's Day. I would love to hear if you have any suggestions for how you can boost your self-love this month. You can type them in the comments box. And also, for those of you who are joining us on the call, if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, type them into the comments box and I'll be able to see them and I can answer them during today's call. All right. Just on a total side note, I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I've never really celebrated Valentine's Day. The only time I maybe celebrated Valentine's Day was back in elementary school, where we had to make those little mailboxes, and we had to those construction paper mailboxes. And we had to give Valentine's to everyone in the class, and I think that was the last time we really celebrated Valentine's Day. But I have a reason. It's not because I'm anti-love or anything. It's because my birthday is 2 days later. So Valentine's Day was always kind of not as important as my birthday, because let's face it, my birthday is the most important day of the entire year. So I would never really celebrate Valentine's Day because I was waiting for my birthday. And I could always tell who my real friends were, or who were the people who really cared about me, because on my birthday, if I got things that were wrapped in birthday wrapping paper, if I got birthday gifts, that's good. But if I got 2-day-old roses, or 50% off chocolates, or things wrapped in Valentine paper, I would know they weren't really thinking about me. They were just kind of throwing it together at the last minute, and they thought, oh, because my birthday is so close to Valentine's Day, we can just lump it all together, and she won't mind this half-off chocolate. Really, that was so insulting to me, getting leftover Valentine stuff instead of proper birthday stuff. I have some friends who have birthdays that are really close to other holidays, like Christmas, and that's how they can tell too. If somebody really cares about them as a person, they get their birthday presents as opposed to leftover Christmas stuff. So I'm just putting that out there for those of you who have friends who have birthdays close to holidays. treat the birthday as more important as than the holiday, and treat the birthday as something special in its own right. Speaking of birthday, I'm gonna jump around here. Because my birthday is coming up, I've gotten a bunch of questions about my annual birthday sale. And I've been doing a birthday sale, I think, since I've started my business. I don't think I've missed a single year. Yeah, so it's been almost 6 years of me doing birthday sales, which kind of explains why people are asking, what's the birthday sale? When does the birthday sale start? Okay, so this year, 2018, I'm going to have a birthday sale. It's not going to be an entire week. It's going to be from Monday, February 12th through Friday, February 16th. So it's just those 5 days of the week. That's going to be birthday sale week. And what's going to be on sale this time, I'm still finalizing a few things, but I can tell you the edited year planners are going to be on sale. So we have the Life Goals Planner, which is normally $49. It's going to be on sale for $39, so $10 off. And then the Life and Business Bundle with both planners, that's normally $75. It's going to be on sale for $55, so that's $20 off. So that's what I can say is definitely going to be in the sale, the Life Goals Planner and then the bundle. That's going to be part of the birthday week sale. So again, that's Monday, February 12th through Friday, February 16th. And I'm going to send you more emails. I'm going to send you the countdown so you know when the sale is and can make arrangements to get your planners. There may be a few other things included in the sale. I'm still finalizing exactly what I'm offering during my birthday week. So stay tuned, it is coming up. But I kind of like to do that every year on my birthday. I like to have a sale on either one of my programs or the clubhouse or my planners, or give away something for free. I've done that a lot too. I may do that this year too. So yeah, birthday sale is coming up. Thank you for those of you who were asking about it. Okay, more questions. Here's a question that I get quite a bit. I would say at least once a week I get this question. How do I start a business when I have a day job or kids or other responsibilities? Yeah, I hear that one a lot. Like, how are you supposed to start and maintain an online business or any type of business when you have other things in your life that are really, really important? And I get that. So maybe you have a day job and maybe you like your job. You're not about to quit your job. You go to work every day and you enjoy it. You've got friends, you've got family, you've got kids. Maybe you have to drive your kids all over the place. You have other things going on in your life. Maybe you go to the gym and you go on date nights, or maybe you're taking care of your elderly parents, or whatever it is. Maybe you're on committees and things. You've got a full, proper life. So how are you supposed to fit starting a business in there? Well, it's all about being strategic with your time. So this goes back to step 4 of the life editing process. Rearrange everything into a perfect flow. It's all about time management. And if you want all of these various aspects of your life to flow together properly, you've got to be really strategic. So here's what I mean by being strategic. When you're starting a business, there's a lot of things that you need to do, like setting up your website, creating content, creating a freebie opt-in, linking up your email, growing your list, marketing, social media, getting your business registered. There's all sorts of things to do when you're starting a business. So that means you have to do the most important things that are going to lead you to the goals that you want, and ignore some of those time wasters and those distractions. And that can be a little difficult, especially when you have limited time. But that's the thing, when you have limited time, you have to make every single minute count. And if you log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com, there is a great program called Startup in 60, where I walk you through starting with an idea to having a fully functioning business that's earning money in 60 days. That's why it's called Startup in 60. And each day during the 60 days, you can either do a 60-second activity or a 60-minute activity that will lead you closer and closer and closer to having the business of your dreams. So log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com and check out Startup in 60. Also, next week I'm hosting a new Clubhouse class, brand new. We're recording it next Thursday, February 8th. It's called Side Hustles Simplified. And this is exactly for the type of people who have very full, robust lives, but they also want to start a business. So I'm going to explain exactly how you can start a business when you've got kids and a day job and other things going on in your life. So here's how I want you to first take a look at your time. I suggest keeping a time log for at least a week. So a time log is where it's got every hour broken out. Sometimes it's broken out by half hours throughout the entire 24-hour day. And you keep the log with you. You can do it on your phone, or you can print out a time log worksheet. I actually have a free time log worksheet in the editor's toolkit section of lifeeditorclubhouse.com. So you take your time log and you write down what you're doing in half-hour increments for like at least a week. So what time do you get up? What time do you eat breakfast? What time do you get to work? Whether you're commuting hours? When are you working on this project? When are you working on that project? When are you distracted by Facebook? Whatever it is. And then once you have several days, ideally a week of your time log, you're going to start to notice patterns. You're going to start to notice when maybe you're not using your minutes to your best advantage. So then I want you to analyze your time log. Where are the distractions? So maybe you're realizing, like, you come home from work and then you watch TV for 2 hours and it just kind of like flies by. That's a distraction when you could be doing something different. Or maybe you waste an hour on social media every day at work. Or maybe you're waking up 15 minutes before you have to walk out the door. So you're like losing your whole morning. Look at the distractions. Look at the things where you're kind of wasting time, or you're just kind of goofing off. Or I notice a lot of my clients, like, they have these blocks of time where they can't even remember what they were doing. Like, it didn't even register on them. If you ever have blocks of time where you can't remember what you were doing, you're probably zoning out and goofing off, probably not using your minutes the way that you want to. Okay, so that's first. Look at the time log, cut out the distractions. Next, cut out the self-comfort. So this is a little confusing because I want you to have self-care. I want you to be doing activities that care for you, that give you energy. And self-care gives you energy. So that might be reading or exercising or having a meaningful conversation or taking a bubble bath or whatever it is. Self-care cares for you and gives you energy. Whereas self-comfort drains your energy and like numbs you out. So that's like binging on Netflix for 5 hours. That's eating a bunch of candy and not realizing that you ate it because you were distracted. Or maybe that's like abusing alcohol or whatever. So whatever self-comfort you see in your time log, cut out the self-comfort. Do you need to watch TV for 5 hours every night? I don't think so. Do you need to be distracted by like playing with your phone or goofing off on social media? Probably not. That's the time when you can be working on your business. Okay, so once you review your time log, cut out the distractions, cut out the self-comfort, then you're going to list your priorities. So in my edited year planners, there's some project planning worksheets. You can also find them on my website. So at the top of a sheet of paper, or if you're using any kind of like project management software like Asana or Trello, at the top, write whatever your big project is. So maybe it's starting a business or getting the website live, whatever your next project is. And then list all of the little tasks that lead to that goal. So if you need to get your website live, you have to brainstorm some names for your business. You got to find a domain. You got to purchase the domain. You've got to set up your email. You got to set up hosting. You've got to like get a logo, all sorts of like things. You got to get a picture of yourself for your website. You got to put a theme on it. There's all sorts of things you need to do to get your website up and running. So list all of those out. And then here's where you're being strategic. Once you know all of the things you need to do to get to the end goal, like having a live website so people can find you and hire you, you start to plug those things into the time that you have during your days. So I get it. If you've got a day job, or you've got kids, or you're taking care of elderly parents, or whatever, you probably only have half hour, maybe an hour that you can carve out every day just for your business. And sometimes that means making some sacrifices. That might mean waking up an hour earlier. That might mean working during your lunch break and eating something portable. It might mean being really strict about putting the kids to bed on time so you can have an hour to work at night. It might be getting your spouse or getting a babysitter involved so you could have that hour just to work. And then during that time, during that really, really concentrated business time, you're going to focus on your next most important tasks. You're going to be strategic. So if you need to purchase a domain, you're going to purchase a domain. You're going to do it during that hour. You're not going to goof off on social media. You're not going to read about things that are far, far advanced for you. Like when I was first starting my business, I was reading about how to blog, how to edit videos, how to market on social media, like really, really beginner stuff. I was not reading about how to host a conference, how to host a retreat, how to do a mastermind group. Those were things I ended up doing, but I ended up doing them years later. So don't get distracted with what Oprah is doing or whoever, whatever big shot you're following, whatever they're doing. Don't get worried about what they're doing. Focus on the very, very beginner stuff that you need to do because, yeah, you've got to do that beginner stuff first. So then every hour that you have to work on your business, be strategic. Only be working on things that lead you to your next goal. So avoiding any distractions, avoiding getting lost on social media, avoiding comparing yourself to someone who's been doing it 10 times longer than you. I hope this is making sense. But if you really, really want step-by-step hand-holding type of advice for starting your business, log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com and check out the 9-week program Startup in 60. So it's 60 days. We take you from idea to fully functioning business in just 60 days. And that really maps out like what you should be doing week by week by week by week. So check that out. Okay. One last thing. For starting a business when you have other things going on, next week, be there for the live recording of our brand new Clubhouse class, Side Hustles Simplified, because we're going to go into much more advanced stuff. We're really going to map it out exactly what you need to do to get your side business up and running. Okay, how are we doing on time? For those of you who are joining us, if you have any comments or questions, type them into the comment box and I will see them and I can answer them during the call. Okay, next question that we got. I actually got a few people asking me this. What is Sage's nighttime routine? And what time does she wake up? Okay, so you have heard me talk a lot about my morning routine. I kind of talk about it a lot. Of how I wake up in the morning, how I believe that the first hour or two of your day really sets you up for success and it really affects everything else that you have going on during the day. I talk about like the teas that I drink, I talk about the mantras that I do, the meditations that I do, how I organize my to-do list. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about my morning routine. Oh, hi Kathy. Kathy says, thanks for these great reminders. Yes, awesome. But because I talk about morning routines a lot, people are finally saying, Sage, why don't you tell us about your nighttime routine? Well, okay then, I will tell you about my nighttime routine. Okay, so I am really a stickler about getting enough sleep at night. I get between 8 or 9 hours of sleep every night. And I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, she does nothing but sleep. Because some of you are like running on fumes. You're doing like 5 or 6 hours of sleep per night. But I'm hugely into getting enough sleep every night. Because I can really tell, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell when I don't get enough sleep and I'm just dragging the whole day. I just like, ugh, I just can't get going. and I notice my energy isn't as high when I'm on calls, and for whatever, I just do not feel like my best self when I don't get enough sleep. So my nighttime routine is really, really important. I start with counting backwards from when I want to wake up to determine what time I need to go to sleep. So, okay, I'm going to tell you when I wake up in the morning, and some of you are going to freak out, and some of you are going to be like, tune me out and not listen to me anymore. But I get up very, very early. You guys know I'm an early bird. I'm a morning person. That's probably super annoying to some of you. But yeah, the morning is my time. I feel like my best self early in the morning. So I get up, most days I get up around 4 a.m. I'm not even kidding. I get up around 4 in the morning because that's just when my body naturally wakes up. So I'm up around 4. Sometimes I'm up around 5. It really depends on what time I went to sleep the night before. But so I count backwards from that. So if I need to get up at 4, that means I'm going to bed at 8. That gives me my full 8 hours of sleep. I sound like such an old lady right now that like I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock at night, but I'm tired. I'm tired by 8 o'clock at night. I'm tired by 9 o'clock. And you would be too if you're waking up at 4 in the morning. So I get up around 4, sometimes 5 in the morning, and so I count backwards to see when I need to get into bed. Okay, so if I need to get into bed by like 9, I set a bedtime alarm. I used to have my bedtime alarm all the time, but now I'm just so used to my routine, I just get myself ready for bed anyway. So a bedtime alarm is a great tip that I got from Gretchen Rubin, again, from the Happiness Project. And instead of setting an alarm that tells you when to wake up or setting an alarm for when you need to be in bed, you set an alarm for 30 minutes before you need to be in bed. So it's a bedtime alarm saying, ding, 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 now it's time to get ready for bed. Because if you set your alarm for when you need to be in bed, well, you still gotta like get changed, clean up the house, turn off the lights, brush your teeth, whatever you need to do. And then by the time you're in bed, it's a half hour or an hour later. So you've already lost that time. So set an alarm on your phone that is a half hour before you need to be in bed. So I set a bedtime alarm, which I got from Gretchen Rubin. And then when the alarm goes off, I start getting ready for bed. So here's some of the stuff that I do. I turn down the lights. It's winter here, so it gets dark really early. And so all of the lights are like blazing in the house. So as I'm getting ready for bed, I start lowering and dimming all of the lights in the house. So my brain starts thinking, oh, it's nighttime. I should like get ready for sleep. So I also start turning off screens. So I turn off the TV. I don't look at my phone. I try to avoid any kind of like light type of distraction. I also make sure not to have caffeine after lunch. I know you've heard this before that like caffeine will stay in your system for about 7 or 8 hours after you consume it. So if you're drinking caffeine at lunch, then 7 or 8 hours later, it's going to be out of your system and you're going to come down from like that caffeine high. That's why so many people who drink coffee or tea in the morning have that slump around 2 or 3 in the afternoon because it's like 8 hours after they have the caffeine. So you have like that boost of caffeine and then you come crashing down. So if you stop your caffeine after lunch, so drink whatever caffeine you want during lunch. I drink a lot of tea. I don't drink soda at all, but I do drink a lot of tea. So I stop that after lunch. So then I am naturally coming down from that caffeine high right around my bedtime. Does that make sense? So yeah, if you avoid caffeine in the afternoon, you will naturally be tired in the evenings. And I know a lot of people like don't feel tired at night. That's why they don't go to bed on time. That's why they stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning. If you just cut back on the caffeine in the afternoon, it will help you so much. Like your body will be naturally ready for sleep when you're supposed to be in bed. Okay. Oh, I got a comment from Nicole. She says, The traffic is awful in my country. Therefore, I have to wake up at 4:15 a.m. to get the kids to school on time. However, I am unable to get 8 hours of sleep as traffic is also an issue on the return. My earliest bedtime is 10 p.m. Oh, yes, I hear you, Nicole. That's really tough when you have to get up to get your kids ready, and then if you can't really get into bed until 10, you're still getting 6 hours of sleep, which isn't terrible. It's not the best. Gosh, if traffic is really bad that you're not able to even get into bed until 10, I'm not sure what else we could do. I would say if it's not possible to get more hours of sleep, I would try your best to get the best sleep you can. So whether that's, well, it's already dark when you're going to bed, but that might mean wearing a sleep mask so there's no distractions from any lights or alarms or blinking gadgets in your room. You might want to lower the heat so it's a little cooler. That'll help you sleep. Maybe listening to a nighttime meditation to really like calm that jittery, anxious part of your brain right before you go to sleep. Wearing really comfortable pajamas so that there's nothing riding up on you, there's nothing that's pinching you during the night. Maybe listening to a white noise machine. There's also like white noise, ambient noise apps that you can get on your phone. So if that's the case, if you can't get more hours of sleep, try to make those hours really, really, really good quality sleep. So yeah, darkening the room with darker curtains, wearing a sleep mask, anything that has a display, if you can like turn it away from the bed so you don't have to look at it. Comfy pajamas, nighttime meditation, white noise, lowering the heat. See if I can think of anything else. If any of you have any ideas for how to get better quality sleep, go ahead and type it in the comment box. I would love to hear your suggestions. Getting back to my nighttime routine, so we talked about the bedtime alarm, turning down the lights, no caffeine after lunch. In bed, I try really, really hard not to play with my phone in bed because it's that blue light from your phone that keeps your mind awake. That'll make it harder for you to fall asleep. And I know it's so easy to be distracted by your phone and to want to like check your email or check your blogs or whatever, watch YouTube videos. But try really hard not to play with your phone in bed. If you do need some kind of distraction or something to help you decompress when you're in your bed, read a book. I know you've heard me say that so many times. Like, of course I'm going to say read a book. But the great thing about reading a book, and I'm talking about a real physical copy book, not a Kindle, not anything that you read on a tablet, because again, that's the blue light that's coming at you from the screen. If you read a physical hard copy book, that will help wind you down. It will not be a light shining in your face. That's something good to do if you do need to calm yourself down and like really transition into bedtime. So no phone, stick to books. I also do a gratitude meditation before I go to bed. So there's an amazing meditation app that I've been using for a while, and I really, really recommend it. It's called Insight Timer. So the app is called Insight Timer, and it's free. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of meditations on there. I love Insight Timer because it's really easy to search for what I want. I can search for sleep. I can search for how long I want the meditation to be, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. You can choose different teachers, different countries, with music, without music. It's really, really a wonderful app, and I really recommend it. So I do a gratitude nighttime meditation to focus on the things that I'm thankful for right before I go to sleep. And this is important because if we do want to get really restful sleep, we want to think about good things as we're drifting off. If we start to do what normal people do, where we think about all of the things that went wrong during the day, or all the people who were mean to us, or oh my gosh, I have to do this the next day, or oh, I didn't look at my to-do list. Like, if we start thinking about all of those negative things right as we're going to sleep, well, that's going to affect our dreams. That's going to make it so we're not getting the best restful sleep. So what I do, I listen to a gratitude nighttime meditation that like calms me down, slows my breathing, gets me focused on my blessings right before sleep, because that helps me have better nights, better dreams. I do notice a difference between like the nights when I do a nighttime meditation and the nights I don't. I sleep much better when I've calmed my mind and I'm focusing on gratitude right before I go to sleep. So definitely recommend that. Try some of the free ones on Insight Timer. All right. I also, I do so many things at night. I also look in the mirror, like right after I brush my teeth. I like to look in the mirror and talk about the wins for the day. So I have a great printable that's in the free section of my editor's toolkit. So if you go to lifeeditorclubhouse.com and click on the editor's toolkit, there is a free printable, which is your progress journal. And in the progress journal, you write down your biggest wins for the day. Like, what did you accomplish? What did you check off your to-do list? So before I go to sleep, I brush my teeth. And then I look in the mirror and I go over all of my wins for today. So I'm like looking at myself and I'm like, okay, Sage, here's what we did today. We published that blog post. We sent that email. We had 3 client calls. We prepped our meals. We went for a walk with Skyla, like whatever it is. It could be like even really, really small things. And sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I do have to concentrate on the small things, like I cleaned up my desk today, or whatever it is, or I didn't yell at that one person. So just focus on your wins, looking at yourself in the mirror, and kind of, it's a really nice way to close out the day, and just acknowledge what you did get done during the day, rather than focusing on all the hundreds of things you didn't get done. And then finally, I've talked about this before, Chris and I, my husband Chris, we always share the best part of our day right before we go to sleep. So again, it's just another gratitude practice, focusing on one shining blessing during the day. So like we ask each other, what was the best part of the day? And it could be like a win from work, or it could be, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, but I'm not. So it could be a win from work. It could be just a really nice compliment that somebody said. It could be like, you really liked your TV show that night, or whatever it is. So just sharing like one shining best part of your day. It's a really sweet way to end the night. So you can do that with your spouse, or if you don't have a significant other, you could text your best friend, like, what was the best part of your day? And then just share that with each other right before you go to sleep. All right, so that is my whole nighttime routine. I'm sorry I haven't like really gone into my nighttime routine before. I know I talk about my morning routine a lot, but I hope that give you some ideas for how you can have a good night, a good nighttime routine. Because like I said, the morning routine really sets you up for success for the whole rest of the day, but your nighttime routine kind of sets you up for success for having a really good restful night. And if you can't get the full 8 hours of sleep, like I try to do, I really, really try to get the best sleep that you can in the limited time that you do have. So make an effort to focus on gratitude. Make an effort to take some time before you get into bed to turn off the lights and go through your whole routine and calm yourself down and decompress before you get into the bed. I hope that really helps. And yeah, let me know if you have any other suggestions for nighttime routines. I would love to hear your ideas. Okay, we've got just a few more minutes and then I have to wrap up this Ask Me Anything call. All right, we talked about birthday sale. Okay, last thing. I've gotten some questions about what I'm actually going to be teaching at Life Editor Weekend. So for those of you who don't know, I don't know how you don't know because I've been talking about it so much, but Life Editor Weekend is my live retreat here in Orlando, Florida, and it's coming up this March 8th through 11th. So it's like 5 weeks away. I'm so excited. That's what's taking up the bulk of my time, is getting ready for the retreat. So Life Editor Weekend is hosted at Lakeside Inn here in Orlando, Florida, which is a beautiful, beautiful hotel right on the lake. And it's really something I look forward to all year long. So what I'm going to be teaching, obviously I'm going to be going over the 5 steps of the life editing process. So we're going to have a different session for each step of the process. So there's 5 steps. So we're going to talk about gratitude. We're going to talk about creating that foundation, that stable, secure foundation of gratitude, because that's what's going to help you do everything else you need to do in your life. We're going to talk about deleting bad influences. So cutting out toxic people, creating firm boundaries in your life, getting rid of those things that drain you, the things that make you feel bad about yourself. Tied into that, we're going to talk about money mindset. So kind of flipping the script of what we say about money and how we react to money and how we attract money. So that's actually a big part that we're going to be going over. Adding good habits and routines, that's step 3. So how to create good habits, how to break those bad habits that we've kind of been dragging along with us forever, how to really step into the type of people we want to become. We also go over time management, which we talked about during today's call. So how to best use your time, how to prioritize, goal setting, how to get rid of distractions, how to have that flow to your day where you're not getting like hung up on things that aren't really important. And of course, self-care, or as I call it, white space. So making white space in your life, having those margins, those free times, giving yourself a break, allowing yourself to be imperfect and move forward imperfectly. Really putting yourself first, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anyone else in your life. We also go over creating accountability partnerships and how to support other women and how to really get that support that you need in your life, to like have somebody there bouncing ideas off of and keeping you accountable, like checking in, like, are you doing what you are supposed to be doing? We do have a whole section about marketing. So not all, but many of the people who come to Life Editor Weekend have their own businesses. So we do have a whole section about marketing and really being strategic with your marketing for your business. And that doesn't mean throwing a whole bunch of money into marketing. I mean, if you are going to pay for ads or any kind of mailings like that, we can be really strategic and pick the ones that are going to have the biggest impact. But there are so many free ways to market your business and really get in front of the people who need to hear about you. We do goal planning, like I mentioned. And then we also do a lot of craft activities at Life Editor Weekend. So we make bucket list jars, which you've probably seen my video on my website. We do vision boards. So if you like crafty paper craft stuff, we do a lot of that. We do goal planning, bullet journals, list making. So if you're like a planner girl like me and you like organizing things with colors and post-it notes and different markers, we do a lot of that. Let's see. We have our pajama party, which is just a fun break during the retreat where we all come in silly pajamas. I have my flamingo bunny slippers, so they're like the puffy flamingos on my feet that I wear. We listen to music, we eat lots of desserts, and we just have fun. And then there's other things to do in the area around Lakeside Inn. There's a ghost tour, there's live music, there's all kinds of restaurants and shops. You can go out on the lake, you can dance under the stars. It's really magical. I can't say it enough. I love Life Editor Weekend, and I'm so happy that it's coming up. Because you'll remember the last one got canceled because of Hurricane Irma. So that's what I'm teaching at Life Editor Weekend. If you have any specific questions about what actually happens at Life Editor Weekend, if you go to lifeeditorclubhouse.com, you can watch the videos from the past 2 Life Editor Weekend events. And that kind of gives you a good idea of what goes on at the retreat. You can also email me at sage@sagegrayson.com. And you guys remember, if you are a silver level member of the Life Editor Clubhouse, you get a free ticket to Life Editor Weekend. So check your email inbox and you'll see the link to claim your free ticket. If you don't have that email, but you are a silver level member, send me an email at sage@sagegrayson.com and I will forward it to you. All right, that's it. We are out of time. So this has been our monthly Ask Me Anything call. This is February 2018. Thank you so much for all of the really diverse, lovely questions that you've sent in for the past month. And thanks for those of you who've been here live on the call with me. If you're watching this recording later, please type your questions and comments into the comment box and I'll come back and answer them. You can also reach me at sage@sagegrayson.com if you have a question that you would like me to answer privately. All right, thank you so much for being here on our Ask Me Anything call. We'll do this again next month. All right, bye, Life Editors.